Let us look at this question now. Show that relation R in set A is given by this such that A minus B is even. So whatever what ordered pairs will be there in this relation, of which the difference is even. For example, if I take 1 comma 3, right, 1 minus 3 and then I have to take mod, right, is nothing but 2, so which is even. So I can say 1 comma 3 is present in this relation. So this relation is defined like this. Is an equivalence relation, we need to show that, and show that all elements of this set are related to each other and this set are related to each other, but no element of this and this set are related to one another. Alright, so let us start with this portion. We need to show that it is equivalence, so we need to show it is reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive. First of all, let's check for its reflexivity. Okay, can I say A belongs to this relation R for all A belonging to this set A? Can I say that? I'll be able to say that if A minus A mod is even, then I will be able to say that A comma A belongs to this relation R. So let me check. A minus A is 0, 0 is even. So yes, this belongs to this relation R. Hence, I can say this relation R is reflexive. Okay, now let's check for symmetry. Is it symmetric? If A comma B, if AB belongs to R, then that means A minus B mod is even. Now I need to check if AB belongs to R, then BA belongs to R or not, or the presence of AB in R implies the presence of BA or not. If it implies the presence of B comma A in relation R, then I will be able to say that it is symmetric. So that is what I am trying to do here. Now presence of AB in this relation R means A minus B mod is even. So if A minus B mod is even, can I say negative of A minus B mod is even? Yes. Anyways, this is a modulus sign, right? A minus B or B minus A inside this modulus sign will mean the same thing. Alright. So this means B minus A mod is even. Right? This implies this and this implies this and this implies that B comma A belongs to relation R. So presence of AB implies the presence of BA, that means relation R is symmetric. I have proven it for any general ordered pair AB, okay, which belongs to this set A. And similarly for this reflexivity. Now we will need to check for its transitivity. I am checking for transitivity now. For it being transitive, I'll assume two things. If AB and BC belongs to R, right? If it implies that AC belongs to R, if this implies that AC belongs to R, then I'll be able to say that it is transitive. Now this is my target, that I need to show that AC belongs to R. So presence of this should imply the presence of AC. Now let me check. Now if this is in this relation R, this means that A minus B mod is even, B minus C modulus is even, right? This means that if A minus B mod is even, it is sure that A minus B is even, right? Whether it is with positive sign or negative sign. Or in other words, if this is even, this implies that A minus B is an integral multiple of 2. Let us take it as 2m. If B minus C mod is even, this will imply that B minus C is some integral multiple of 2, where m and n belong to integers. right? This much you can say. And if a minus b is equal to 2m, b minus c is equal to some 2n, what will be sum of a minus b and b minus c? If I add these, it will be equal to twice of m plus n. Now b can be cancelled, so a minus c is an integral multiple of 2, right? It is integral multiple of 2. That implies AC is present in this relation R. So I started with this assumption that AB and BC are in this relation R. That implies that AC belongs to this relation R, which is the sufficient condition to say that it is transitive. So I have shown three things: that the relation is reflexive, it is symmetric, it is transitive. Hence I can say it is equivalence relation. It is equivalence relation. Okay, I have to show something else also. Show that all the elements of 1, 3, 5, this set are related to each other. So obviously these are odd numbers. Out of these 5, I have got 3 odd numbers, which are these 1, 3, 5. See, the relation is defined as this: the difference of any two numbers or these entries of this ordered pair is even. So difference of any two odd numbers, 1 minus 3, 3 minus 5, 5 minus 1, any two odd numbers you take, their difference will be even. Their difference will be even, right? Mod of these will give you an even number. Similarly, difference of any two even numbers is also even. So every element of this set is related to one another. Every element of this set is related to one another. What I mean is, if I try and write this relation R, okay, let me explain it a little more. What is this relation defined as? I need to choose an ordered pair AB such that the difference of their entries, first entry and second entry, is even. So if I start with 1, 1 will be related with 3 because 1 minus 3 mod is even. 1 will be related with 5, right? And 1 will be related with itself because 1 minus 1 is 0, which is even, right? So 1 will be related to these. What will be 2 related with? 2 will be related with itself because 2 minus 2 is 0, which is even. 2 will be related to 4 because 2 minus 4 mod is 2. 2, 4. Why 2, 4 belongs to this relation? Because 2 minus 4 mod is 2, which is even. So 2, 4 belongs to this relation, or 2 is related with 4 under this relation. 2 is related with 6, but 6 is not there. So these are the only two ordered pairs containing 2 as first entry. Okay, and what about 3? 3 is related with itself, 3 is related with 1, and 3 is related with 5, right? What about 4? 4 is related with itself, 4 is obviously related with 2, 4 is related with nothing else. What about 5? 5 is related with itself, related with 1, related with 3, and that's it. See, 1 is related with 3, 5 and itself. 2 is related with 2, 4, right? So this is how we will write this relation. If I want you to write equivalence class of 1, what will it be? The elements with which 1 is related to under this relation. 1, 3, 5. This will be the equivalence class of 1. What will be equivalence class of 2? It will be 2, 4. Equivalence class of 3, it will be 1, 3, 5. Equivalence class of 4, it will be 2, 4. Right? What is 4 related to? 4 is related to 4, 4 is related to 2, that's it. Equivalence class of 5 will give me 1, 3, 5, and that's it. Now if you see, I have got two partitions, this 135 containing 135 and 2, 4. So there is one partition which is 1, 3, 5. There is another partition or subdivision that contains 2, 4. So obviously these are related with one another, these elements are related with one another, and there is nothing in common in these two, so these are not related with one another, because partition 1 and partition 2, their intersection is an empty set, right, as no element of this partition is related with no element of this partition. That is why these are partitions. I hope I have explained it enough for you to understand. Okay, show that each of the relation R in this set, x belongs to set of integers where x, okay, x is less than equal 12 and greater than equal 0. So if you talk about this set A, what is this set A? It is defined, x belongs to integers, and it has to be between 0 and 12. So what is this set A in roster form? 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 12, right? This is set A. And what I need to show is relation R, which is defined in this set A minus B is a multiple of 4. Okay, so we need to check whether it is an equivalence relation, and we need to show that it is an equivalence relation. Find the set of elements related to 1 in each case. So we have to find equivalence class of 1 in each case. So let us look at this first part. A minus B is multiple of 4. So for reflexivity, can I say A minus A mod is multiple of 4? Yes, because this is 0, right? So it is multiple of 4. Hence A comma A or AA belongs to this relation R for all A belonging to set A. So yes, it is reflexive. Alright. Now what about if A minus B is a multiple of 4? Is a multiple of 4. That implies mod B minus A is a multiple of 4, right? Because A minus B or B minus A inside this mod will mean the same thing. So A minus B mod is a multiple of 4. This implies B minus A is a multiple of 4. When I said A minus B mod is a multiple of 4, I assumed that A comma B belongs to this relation R. So that meant A minus B mod is a multiple of 4. Now because of this being multiple of 4, this implies that B minus A mod is a multiple of 4, and this implies B comma A is present in this relation R. So presence of AB in this relation R implies the presence of BA, hence it is symmetric. So I have shown you two things, that it is reflexive, it is symmetric. Now what about it being transitive? See, if A minus B, what I mean is, I am assuming AB belongs to R and BC belongs to R. And if it is true, this is what I have assumed. So A minus B mod will be multiple of 4, integral multiple of 4, and similarly B minus C will be some multiple of 4. Right? What I mean is A minus B mod is a multiple of 4. So A minus B will surely be a multiple of 4. Let us remove this mod also. We don't require this mod. You need to focus your attention only on this part, because I am working on its transitivity. So for it to be transitive, what I have assumed is that AB belongs to R, BC belongs to R. When I have assumed that AB belongs to R, that means A minus B mod is a multiple of 4, is a multiple of 4, right? This means this. And if A minus B mod is a multiple of 4, A minus B can be written as 4 into some integer. Now this integer may be positive or negative. Okay. And what about B, C belongs to this relation R, that means B minus C without mod is equal to 4 into some integral multiple of 4, right? Now if I add these, this B will get cancelled, so A minus C will be equal to 4 into some integer. That means A minus C is also a multiple of 4. If these two are multiple of 4, if these two belong to this relation R, then A comma C belongs to this relation R. Okay, I hope you have understood. And to try to explain it in detail, I may have over explained it, but let me do it once more and conclude it. So when we work on transitivity, we assume two things, that AB belongs to R, BC belongs to R. When I assumed these two things, AB belongs to R, that meant that A minus B mod is a multiple of 4. When I assumed that BC belongs to this R, then that meant B minus C mod is a multiple of 4. And if A minus B mod is a multiple of 4, then I can write A minus B without mod as 4 into some integral multiple of 4 into some integer, right? Similarly, B minus C 4 into some integer. If I add these, this will give me A minus C as a multiple of 4, which means that A comma C belongs to this relation R. So it is transitive. I hope you got this. Okay. Now it is reflexive, it is symmetric, it is transitive. So it is an equivalence relation. This first part. Now I need to show equivalence class of this element 1. So which element will be there? Which elements will be there in its class? 1 will obviously be there, right? Why? Because 1 minus 1 is 0, which is multiple of 4. 5 will be there because 1 minus 5 is 4, which is a multiple of 4, right? So 9 will be there. 13, after this 13 will be there, but 13 is not there in this set. So this is the equivalence class of 1, or these are the elements to which 1 is related to under this relation. Okay, so let us move to the second part. Second part, which says A equal to B. Now we know, I am checking for reflexive first of all. A minus A, or A is equal to A, right? That means A comma A belongs to this relation R, and A will be equal to A for every A belonging to set A. A is equal to A for all A belonging to set A. That means A belongs to this relation R for every A belonging to A, which means it is reflexive. Okay, so I am checking for reflexivity. I have said that A belongs to this relation R for all A belonging to set A, because A is equal to A. This is how this relation is defined. So it is reflexive. What about it being symmetric? If AB belongs to this relation R, this will imply that A is equal to B, and if A is equal to B, this will imply that B is equal to A, and if B is equal to A, this will imply that B comma A is present in this relation R. So the presence of AB implies the presence of BA, hence I can say this relation is symmetric. Now what about transitivity? If AB is present, BC is present in this relation R, right? That will imply A is equal to B and B is equal to C. If A is equal to B, B is equal to C, that will imply that A is equal to C. If A is equal to C, as per this defined relation, that will mean that A comma C is present in this relation R. Now, presence of AB and BC implies the presence of AC in this relation R. Hence, I can say this relation is transitive. So, I have shown that this is reflexive, this is symmetric, this is transitive. Hence, it is an equivalence relation. Okay. Now, I need to find the set of elements related to 1. So, what is the set of elements related to 1 as per this relation? A is equal to B. So, 1 is equal to 1. That's it. 1 is equal to itself. I hope this question is clear. Okay, give an example of a relation which is symmetric but neither reflexive nor. So what I'll do is I'll take a set A. Let us take a set A as containing elements 1, 2, 3, and I will define this relation R in set A. Okay, so R is defined in set A. That means R is this relation that we will take. We will take different relations for each of these subparts, and it will be subset of Cartesian product of A with itself. So this is how I have defined A, and this relation R that I am going to write is defined in this set A. I need to give example of a relation which is symmetric but neither reflexive nor transitive. For being reflexive, every element's doublet should be present. So even if I cut off one doublet, then it will not be reflexive, right? And for being nor transitive, so let me write an example. I need to show that it is symmetric. So let me take 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1 here. I've taken these two elements. Up till now it is symmetric, right? But it is not reflexive because 1 1 2 2 3 3 are not present here. Is it transitive? No, because if 1 2 is present, 2 1 is present, 1 1 should also be present for it to be transitive. So if I close it here, this relation, it is symmetric but not reflexive, not transitive. This is how I will choose these relations, these examples. Now I need to say that it is transitive. I need to choose a relation which is transitive but neither reflexive nor symmetric. This is probably the easiest thing to do. If I take 1 comma 2, only this ordered pair, right? It is not reflexive because 1 1 2 2 3 3 are not present. It is not symmetric because 1 2 is present but 2 1 is not. And it is transitive. Why is it transitive? It is transitive but it is not reflexive, not symmetric. Why do I say that it is transitive? Because presence of AB and BC should imply presence of AC. So if AB and BC are not present, I don't have to worry about AC. This is transitive, right? Now reflexive, symmetric but not transitive. So it is reflexive. So first thing that I'll write is all the doublets, because I have to choose a relation which is reflexive. So it is mandatory that I choose all these. And symmetric, it should be symmetric also but not transitive. The three ordered pairs that I have written till now are sufficient for it being reflexive and symmetric, but it should not be transitive. If I leave it here, it will be transitive, but it should not be transitive. So I have to take something like AB and BC, and if I don't take AC, then it will not be transitive. So let me take something like, let me take 1 2 1 2. Okay, and it should be symmetric also, right? So that also I have to take care of. So if I choose something like 1 2 2 3, right? If I choose 1 2 2 3 and not take 1 3, then it will not be transitive. Okay, so I will not be taking 1 comma 3 in this, but I need to make it symmetric, so I have to take 2 comma 1 and 3 comma 2. So let me take it. 2 comma 1 I'll take, and 3 comma 2 I will take. Let me close it here. So this relation, if you see, is reflexive because I have got all the doublets. This is symmetric because 1 comma 2 is here, 2 comma 1 is here, 2 comma 3 is here, 3 comma 2 is here. So it is symmetric. What about transitivity? I have taken 1 2 and 2 3, but I have avoided taking 1 3 intentionally. So it makes it not transitive, right? It may be, there may be other elements that are present, right? For example, if I say 1 2 2 1, so 1 1 is present, but I have given you one exception which I have taken intentionally, that 1 2 and 2 3, these are present, but 1 3 is not present. This is something that I have done intentionally to make it not transitive. Okay, let us look at this one. Let us define a relation which is reflexive. So the first thing I need to do is I need to take these doublets to make it reflexive. It is transitive but not symmetric. So if I take any other element, let us take 1 2, even if I close it here, it will satisfy all these properties, that it is reflexive. Why? Because all the doublets are present. It is transitive because it is transitive, right? For it to be not transitive, then the presence of one A, B, B, C should be there and AC should not be there. But I have not made any such scenario here. 1 2 is present, 2 2 is present, 1 2 is present, right? So yes, it is transitive, but it is not symmetric because 1 2 is present, 1 2 belongs to this relation, but 2 1 I have intentionally not taken in this relation, hence making it not symmetric. So this is a good example to show it is reflexive, transitive, but not symmetric. Now another part that I've shown, it is symmetric and transitive but not reflexive. So I'll have to miss out on any of the doublets, 1 2 or 3, right? So I cannot take all the doublets because it should not be reflexive. It should be symmetric as well as transitive. So even if I take any two doublets, even if I take this is symmetric, this is right, this is symmetric because 2 2 2 2 is one and the same thing. It is transitive because AB and BC are not present, so I don't have to worry about AC. But it is not reflexive because the third doublet is missing. Even if I take only one doublet here, this is also an example for this part. And what more example can I give? If I take 1 2 here and 1 2 and let us take, no, then it will be not transitive. I am thinking about one more example, so give me a moment. Let us insert 2 3. Now it should be symmetric, so I have to insert 3 2. Even if I take this example, now you see 2 3 is present, 3 2 is present, 2 2 is also present here. So it is symmetric because 2 3 is present, so 3 2 is also present. It is transitive, yes, but it is not reflexive because we have intentionally avoided one doublet. 1 1 doesn't belong to this relation R, so it is not reflexive, but it is symmetric as well as transitive. So I have taken example for each of these parts. Okay, that was the purpose of this question. Show that relation R in set A of points in a plane. Okay, so set A is a set of all the points in a plane, and we have to define a relation in this set A in a way P comma Q where distance of point P from the origin is same as distance of point Q from the origin. It is an equivalence. So let us see if it is reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive. Let us check for reflexivity. P comma P belongs to this relation R or not? Yes, it belongs to this relation R because P and P, right, a point is at the same distance as itself from the origin. P and P are at same distance from origin. Same distance from origin. So I'll say P comma P belongs to this relation R for all P belonging to this set of all points in a plane, right? That means this relation is reflexive. Or you can, what you can do is you can take points like this also if you are comfortable with this notation, that A belongs to R for all A belonging to this set A because any point is equidistant from origin as itself, right? You can write it like this also. So I have taken care of reflexivity. Now let me discuss symmetry. Is it symmetric? If I take any two points AB belonging to R, if AB belongs to R, that would imply that A and B are equidistant from origin. This is what it will imply. And if A and B are equidistant from origin, can I say B and A are equidistant from origin? If B and A are equidistant from origin, that will imply BA belongs to this relation R. So if presence of AB in relation R implies the presence of BA in relation R, obviously AB belong to set A, right? So if it implies this, then I can say this relation is symmetric. So I have shown you that it is reflexive, it is symmetric. Now let us work on transitivity. Is it transitive? For transitivity, I need to take two assumptions. If AB belongs to R and BC belongs to R. And now I need to check whether AC belongs to R or not. So if AB belongs to R, this implies A and B are equidistant from origin, and this here B comma C belongs to R implies BC are points B and C are equidistant from origin. If A and B, let us say this is origin, this is point A, this is point B, okay, this is A. So this is equal to this distance, and let us take this as C, and this is also equal to this. So if this distance is equal to this distance and this distance is equal to this distance, so obviously this distance will be equal to this distance. It is equivalent to saying that A is equal to B if this distance is A, right? Or this is D1, D2, D3. You can say D1 is equal to D2, D2 is equal to D3, hence D1 is equal to D3. So if A and B are equidistant from origin, B and C are equidistant from origin, this will imply that A and C are equidistant from origin, right? That implies AC belongs to this relation R. Hence, if AB, BC belongs to R implies AC belongs to R, this relation is transitive. Okay, if you listen to the previous lectures carefully, you will do this question in 30 seconds. Okay. Now, further show that set of all points related to P. Which are the points related to P? Which are at the same distance as P from origin. So let us say this is origin, this is point P. Okay. Now P is related with all the points which are at the same distance, that is this distance from origin. For example, this point, right? So P is related with these points, and we need to show that the set of all points related with P is the circle passing through P with origin as center. So obviously, if you see this is origin and these three distance, if I try to draw a circle passing through P and taking center as origin, it will obviously pass through these points that we have defined, which are equidistant from origin. So obviously, yes, this is a circle passing through P with origin as center. Okay, because all the points are equidistant from origin. So they will lie on the circumference of the circle with origin as the center and P being lying on the circumference. Show that relation R is defined in set A of all triangles. So set A is a set of all triangles, and what is this relation? That triangle 1 is similar to triangle 2 is an equivalence relation. So we have done a question like this. We need to show it is reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive, right? So for showing it reflexive, I can say that every triangle, can I say T? Okay, let us take as T. Every triangle is similar to itself. So TT belongs to R because every triangle is similar to itself. So that falls in this relation R. So T comma T belongs to this relation R for all T belonging to this set A on which this relation is defined. Hence this relation is reflexive. Okay. So this is that you need to write. Okay. I am erasing this and working on symmetry now. So if T1, T2 belong to this relation R, that implies T1 is similar to, let me write it like this. This implies T1 is similar to T2. If T1 is similar to T2, that will imply that T2 is similar to T1, right? If T1 is similar to T2, the T2 will surely be similar to T1 because I'm just rephrasing the sentence. And if T2 is similar to T1, that will imply T2 comma T1 belongs to R. If presence of T1 T2 implies the presence of T2 T1, that will imply that it is symmetric. What is symmetric? The relation is symmetric. R is symmetric. Now I will erase this and see if it is transitive or not. If T1 T2 belong to relation R and T2 T3 belong to relation R, I need to check whether T1 T3 belongs to this relation R or not. if it belongs to this relation R, that will mean it is equivalence or it is transitive. So T1, T2 belonging to R imply that T1 is similar to T2. This implies that T2 is similar to T3, and these two imply that T1 is similar to T3. If a triangle T1 is similar to T2, T2 is similar to T3, that implies that T1 is similar to T3. This is something that we know from the property of similarity, from the chapter of similarity, right? This is very basic. So if T1 is similar to T3, that implies T1, T3 is present in this relation R. Hence, I can say this relation is transitive. So this is reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive. That means it is equivalence relation. Equivalence relation. This is the first part. Now consider these right angle triangles with these sides. T1 has got these sides, T2 these, T3 these. Which triangle among T1, T2, T3 are related? So when do I say that these triangles are related? When they fulfill this condition that they are similar to one another. When would they be similar? When the ratios of their corresponding sides will be equal. So I just need to check ratios of their corresponding sides. So let me erase everything. T1 has got these sides 3, 4, 5. T2 has got 5, 12 and 13. So let me divide it by 5, 12 and 13. Whether these ratios are equal? No. These are not equal. So T1 and T2 are not related under this relation, right? Let me check for T1 and T3. So 3, 4, 5 sides of T1 I have written. Now in the denominator let me write sides of T3. 6, 8 and 10. And now I need to check whether these are equal. 3 by 6, 4 by 8 and 5 by 10 all mean 1 by 2, right? So these are equal. Hence I can say T1 is similar to T3. Hence T1 is related to T3. Or in other words I can write T1, T3 belongs to R. Show that relation R defined in the set A of all polygons. And what is the definition? P1 and P2, that two polygons should have same number of sides for being in this relation. It is an equivalence relation. So to show it is an equivalence, I need to show reflexivity, symmetry and transitivity. So for reflexive, I can say that P comma P belongs to this relation R as every polygon will have same number of sides as itself. Same number of sides as itself. I think we have done enough number of questions to do this question very fast. So PP belongs to R for all P belonging to the set A. Hence it is reflexive. Symmetry. If P1 P2 belongs to R, that will mean number of sides of P1 is equal to number of sides of P2. You need to write the complete sentence, that number of sides of P1. I am denoting it by this, but you write the complete sentence, okay? So number of sides of P1 is equal to number of sides of P2 if this belongs to R. So if number of sides of P1 is equal to number of sides of P2, can I say number of sides of P2 is equal to number of sides of P1? Yes. And if it is true, then P2 P1 belongs to this relation R. So it is symmetric because P1 P2 belongs to R implies P2 P1 belongs to R, hence it is symmetric. Now let us check for transitivity. So P1 P2 belongs to R and P2 P3 belongs to R. This is what I am assuming, right? If it is true, then I need to check whether P1 P3 belongs to R or not. So obviously it will belong to R because P1 P2 belonging to R means number of sides of P1 is equal to number of sides of polygon P2, and P2 P3 belongs to R will mean number of sides of polygon P2 is equal to number of sides of polygon P3, and these two collectively, now if number of sides of P1 is equal to number of sides of P2, number of sides of P2 is equal to number of sides of P3, This will imply that number of sides of P1 is equal to number of sides of P3, and that will mean P1 comma P3 belongs to this relation R, making it a transitive relation. So I have shown you reflexivity, symmetry and transitivity, making it an equivalence relation. What is the set of all elements in A related to the right triangle T with sides 3, 4, 5? Okay. What is the relation? You need to take care. Every triangle that has got same number of sides as this, see, P1 and P2 are related, two polygons are related if they have same number of sides. So we are talking about a triangle, whether it is right triangle with measures 3, 4, 5 or 5, 12, 13, let us say, that doesn't matter. It is a triangle. So it will be related to all the other triangles, right, in this set A. So what is the set of all elements in A related with right angle triangle T? It will be set of all triangles in A. I hope you got this question. Now let me do these questions really fast. If L be the set of all lines in this plane, R be the relation in L, right, defined as L1, L2, L1 is parallel to L2, show that it is equivalence. So I need to show reflexivity, symmetry and transitivity. For it being reflexive, I can say that every line is parallel to itself, right? So L1 comma L1 will belong to this relation R for all L1 belonging to this set L. Hence, this is reflexive. What about symmetry? L1, L2 is present in this relation R, implies L1 is parallel to L2, and this implies L2 is also parallel to L1, and this implies L2, L1 is present in this relation R, and that means it is symmetric because L1, L2 is present implies L2, L1 is present, so that makes it symmetric. What about transitive? L1, L2, if L1, L2 belongs to R, L2, L3 belongs to R, does that imply that L1, L3 belongs to R? So let us check. This implies L1 is parallel to L2. This implies L2 is parallel to L3. So if L1 is parallel to L2, L2 is parallel to L3, this implies L1 is parallel to L3, right? Because L1 parallel to L2, this L2 is parallel to L3, so obviously these will be parallel to, okay? So presence of L1, L2 and L2, L3 implies the presence of L1, L3. So that means it is transitive. Okay. So I can say it is equivalence because it is reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive. Okay. Now I need to find set of all lines related to this line. Which lines will be related to this line? Which are parallel to this, because this is the relation. So which lines will be parallel to this line, which will have same slope? What is the slope of this line? It is 2, right? Because the slope intercept form, if I write, it will be mx plus c. So what is the coefficient of x here? It is 2. So if I write y equal to 2x plus c, right? This, where c is a constant, right? This is a set of all lines related to this line. So this will give me the set of lines related to this line. Now c will take various values and those lines will be parallel to this line. Where is the next question? Okay, I think there are two more questions, so let me, I haven't written this already, so let me write it myself. So there is this 15th question which has got this language, right? Then there are 4 options given, we need to choose one of these. So I will see whether it is reflexive, symmetric or transitive, and you will choose the option accordingly. So this is the relation defined in this set, and this is given by this relation. So for it being reflexive, 4 doublets should be present: 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4. So let us check. 1 1 is present, 2 2 is present, 3 3 is present, 4 4 is present. So I can say it is reflexive. It is reflexive. What about it being symmetric? 1 2 is present, so 2 1 should be present, which is not present here. So it is not symmetric. Should I give the reason? It is reflexive because all doublets are present: 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4. All of these are present in this relation R, hence it is reflexive. Not symmetric. The reason is 1 2 is present, but 2 1 is not present. So it is not symmetric. What about transitivity? Let us check. 3 3 3 2 3 2 1 3 3 3. So 1 3 should be okay. These are present. Let us not focus on these doublets 1 1 2 2 3 3 and 4 4. Let us leave these. Look at the rest of the numbers. 1 2 is present. Okay, no problem, because 1 2 is present, 2 2 is present, so 2 2 is also present. 1 3 is present and 3 2 is present. 1 3 3 2 is present, so 1 2 is also present. So yes, it is transitive. So it is transitive. Okay, so it is reflexive and transitive, but not symmetric. Okay, now you need to choose the option accordingly, that it is reflexive and transitive but not symmetric. Okay. There is one more question that I would like to solve. After that, this exercise will be over. So give me a moment to write that question. So this is the last question of this exercise. Relation R is defined in natural numbers where A is equal to B minus 2. That is, the first entry of every ordered pair should be 2 lesser than the second entry. Right? B should be 2 greater than 1 and B is greater than 6. So obviously this is not the correct option, because at this place there can be nothing which is less than 6. Right? So this is clearly not the option. And what about the other options? A and B should differ by 2, or I can say B is equal to A plus 2. So whatever is written at the second place, it should be 2 greater than this. So this is what is satisfying this relation R. What about this? This doesn't satisfy, because 7 is 1 lesser than 8. It is not, or it doesn't satisfy this equation. Similarly, this also doesn't satisfy. So obviously C is the correct option. 6 8 will belong to R, because 8 is equal to 6 plus 2, or you can say 6 is equal to 8 minus 2. Hence 6 8 belong to R. So correct option is option C. I hope this exercise is clear and you are very comfortable with the idea of reflexive, symmetric, transitive relations and them being in equivalence relation. When they are reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive, they are said to be in equivalence. And you know about equivalence classes, partitioning, subdivisions by now. Okay, thank you.